Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 5's Battle Pass is already being leaked, despite this initially also being a short season as we're 70% complete of it already. For the first time in Fortnite history, they've shortened it even more, and we're going to be explaining what this means for the live event, what's going to be happening in that, and all the other Season 5 leaks about what's upcoming in this brand new season releasing the day after. In the last video, I asked you guys to name this particular emote, and here's a ton of hearted comments on screen right now that got that right. Today, however, I want to know the name of this, so make sure to leave it down below in the comments, and if it receives a heart, you'll most likely be shown on screen in the very next video. So to see that as soon as it's uploaded, don't forget to leave a like in this video, subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you can be one of the first to see. And last but not least, before we hop into it all, huge shout out to everybody rocking code FM1 inside the Fortnite item shop. Literally one of the shortest and easiest codes to enter, only 3 digits long. But of course, with that said, now enough messing around. There's tons of Season 5 things to go over, pouring out by the day, so make sure of course you don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm sitting on my
Don't
back.
go anywhere.
Okay, so diving straight into it all, what I initially meant when I teased this season would be shorter than initially expected, despite being one of the shortest seasons we've seen in a while. When Season 4 started, if we went over to the Battle Pass, as you can see there was a lot less text, but it stated at the bottom that this season, Chapter 3 Season 4, was through December 3rd, which also around this time there was confusion of a 2-day downtime, perhaps even implying then that Chapter 4 would be upcoming, but we know now this isn't going to be the case. Don't get me wrong, it would have perfectly lined up for yearly chapters, as Chapter 3 released on December 5th, 2021, and that would have then meant Chapter 4 released on December 5th, 2022. We'll dive into more about that in just a second and what this means with all the end of world teases for the Fortnite reality as we know on the Flipside Island. Of course, now this sooner end date for Season 4 means the live event will be commencing on this end date itself, December 2nd, with then a 10 to 12 hour downtime as data miners have previously concluded for the start of next season. However, this may be longer, as despite us already being able to determine yes, we're going to be seeing a live event and it will put us into a downtime-like state with a counter downtime screen basically showing when servers would be going up again after the update releases and downtime ends, which in itself is another indicator that Chapter 4 won't be releasing, as this doesn't happen from a chapter-like transition. Instead, we get a progressive screen like the black hole, which of course kept continually putting out numbers randomly flashed on screen, or like when we washed up onto the Chapter 3 island after the Chapter 2 end event finale in Season 8. Either way, the reason I believe there will be an extended downtime, even longer than the 10 to 12 hours, is because for those that don't know, it's confirmed now thanks to data miners determining that UENFN/Creative 2.0 will launch together with the next Battle Royale season. Sheena follows up with Epic just added a new version called 23.00.UEFN, which for those that don't know, 23.00 is the next season update, Chapter 3 Season 5. With this being put on the testing servers, it's still possible that the release date gets changed, but it's very unlikely. And despite this release date making complete sense to release with a new Battle Royale season for Fortnite, believe it or not, Epic Games are getting ahead of the game as they've already started to playtest 23.10. The last update of Season 4 to 23.40 also got put onto the staging servers, meaning everything is going in accordance for, well, all of these dates to fall into place smoothly in terms of releases. One of the final things we're expecting to see this season, of course, is finally Chrome consumed Greasy Grove that we saw initially in the Chapter 3 Season 4 Battle Pass trailer, along with some air vehicles that we've been teased to see through not only coding, challenges that were meant to be in the game, but also map changes. As you can see, despite the map being saved from the Chrome or several areas, POIs or buildings, these new constructions have been hoisted up into the sky, of course with a ramp on, implying that a plane is going to be taking off from here. Don't forget to, at the same time of planes being unvaulted, it's said by data miners that helicopters will be making a return, so definitely expect both of these air vehicles to be upcoming before December 2nd, 2022. Of course, despite not missing the live event when this day arrives, you guys obviously clicked on this video wanting to know about the Battle Pass, which is pretty much everything we're going to be moving on to right now when it arrives on December 3rd, 2022. One thing is for certain that's never changed, and that it will cost 950 V-Bucks for the standard version or 2,800 V-Bucks for the first 25 levels in the form of the Battle Bundle. In terms of gifting, considering this isn't done through V-Bucks anymore and hasn't been for a few seasons, this is typically around £5.99 for me, so I'm guessing around $7 or $8, maybe even less. However, if you're already subscribed to the Fortnite crew every single month, don't forget this is kind of free to you, as we get not only this but 1,000 V-Bucks granted onto our account, which of course is more than the initial cost of a Battle Pass in itself, which is a nice bonus. In terms of the Battle Pass itself, a lot of this revolves around the menu in terms of the unlocks, as we've gone with this Battle Pass menu system of battle stars and pages ever since Chapter 2 Season 7. This may now be changed, I don't know. I think Epic Games need to switch things up a little bit, considering they haven't really been implementing too many crazy things or innovating all that much recently. Epic Games initially changed the once beloved Battle Pass scenes that we only saw for 3 seasons, Chapter 2 Season 2 initially introduced, and then Season 3 and Season 4 of Chapter 2. Despite the change not being brilliant, of course it it was something different, and I feel like that's what we need right now for this current Battle Pass system, as of course the parameters of unlocks remain the same every single time. There's 10 initial pages for the normal Battle Pass unlocks, having us reach level 100 to get everything, and then of course in the bonus styles section, despite unlocking some different styles initially for skins that we can from day one, there's then at a later date, or the first update after the season releases, the super styles implemented, with us having to achieve level 200 to get everything or all of them for all of the Battle Pass skins. Speaking of Battle Pass skins, despite Fortnite surveys proving well they can be pulled off here and implemented into each one that's upcoming, even though we haven't seen all of the prior ones obviously rotate throughout the game in some way, shape or form yet, Epic Games released another survey, and feel free to pause the video to get a good look at all of these as they're very interesting, and almost all of them look lore related in a sense, or correlating to, well, the last reality, like these skins, or even this one which actually has the 0 point inside of it. With both Grizz and Meow Skulls being added off the Fortnite surveys into the Season 4 Battle Pass, we can expect at least 2 of the skins off here to appear in the Season 5 one, with many people believing this character to be the Nothing, which is what we've been seeing as a forefront of the storyline, or mentioned throughout Fortnite's storyline all the way up until now. Other than that though, speaking of the storyline in itself, what people aren't talking about, from Fortnite entering the Marvel universe trying to find the elusive Zero shard that obviously made its way into this different universe somehow. Of course in the comics themselves, people initially thought this to be the new mech, or a Hulkbuster version of the mech that they'd redesigned. However, from quite some time passing, we learned that this was a skin that we can now obtain, being Iron Man Zero, with this being the last other than one skin to rotate throughout Fortnite from these comic books that we haven't seen yet. There seems to be only one explanation as for when they can add this next upcoming character, which also is relevant to the timing of it being added, called Shuri. In the comics, for those that don't know, she helped defeat Doctor Doom to get the Zero shard to actually power up the Mecha Team Leader robot that we used to defeat the Imagined Order in the Collision Live event, which obviously was a big part but behind the scenes. Despite her being pro-Reality Zero this entire time, however, she's taken a particular interest in the main character, should I say, of the Fortnite storyline, Jones, with her actually sort of declaring kind of love for him, I guess, at the very end of these comic books, with her helping Reality Zero against the Imagined Order, with us now facing bigger threats of the last reality in itself, with all of these world-ending factors or hints. Let's just say, for the love of Jones, it's most likely she'll return, actually lining up directly too with the release of the new Black Panther film, which obviously makes this make sense in itself, Wakanda Forever. With Spider-Gwen being implemented into this Battle Pass too at the same time of data miners or insiders being able to determine before it released that Miles Morales would be rotating throughout the item shop in this season. Although many people you'll hear saying it's confirmed Miles Morales is in the next Battle Pass, let's just say if he doesn't rotate throughout it, or is obtainable in Fortnite, or revealed by the 18th of November, which is when this new Miles Morales game releases on the Epic Games Store, it will be then of large possibility that we see Miles Morales contained in the next Battle Pass as a pull factor for everybody to buy, as it will have been around a year since the initial introduction of any Spider-Man skin, the initial one Epic Games created in the Chapter 3 Season 1 Battle Pass, which, believe it or not, still remains in the top 10 used skins even this season, despite being a Battle Pass skin over 3 seasons old. With the storyline being confusing, such as our knowledge about the whereabouts of the Paradigm, the Foundation, or if the Origin, the Scientist, and the Visitor are actually dead. Another huge but interesting or exciting curveball Epic Games threw at us in terms of its progression, or what characters would be involved, or should I say returning, revealed in 22.30, the last update. For those that haven't seen this yet, this directly ties Midas to the current Fortnite situation of Chrome spreading on the island and him being consumed by it, despite him having the Midas touch of turning other things gold that we saw firsthand, literally, no pun intended, with his hand touching the Black Knight helmet in the Chapter 2 Season 2 Agent Room Lair cutscene. Despite Midas also being eaten by a shark and coming back in a ghostly or shadow form, haunting where he manned as a mythic boss initially, Donald must have confirmed the doubts of his death by stating this:
Midas is great. And not dead.
So is it safe to say we're going to be seeing a fully chrome Midas, or a chrome Midas variant turning more so chrome than gold next season, or even this one resembling Midas off the Fortnite skin surveys? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of skins upcoming soon, whether it is in the Battle Pass or not releasing throughout Season 5, I'm guessing, is this what Sheena managed to correlate in the files, the 2 pieces of artwork together, or codes? As you can see, this spray currently has the same code name in the files as this particular skin that recently got added, and with it looking like it has resemblances or ties to the last reality reality or the types of characters or art style we see of these members, as the last reality show up in large numbers with, well, trying to end everything or have nothing remain for the end of a chapter. Speaking of these world-ending teasers themselves, Eiko stated all of them in a compilation right here: a beginning for the end, stop the flow of reality, everything's end, party like it's the end of the world, the nothing is coming, the last light you'll see, the final cut awaits, and nothing is happening. Of course, all of these being the descriptions of cosmetics we've recently seen implemented into the game, and with the implied end impending anyways for the Fortnite reality or reality 0 that we're currently in inside the loop, with it being kinda confirmed now that Chapter 3 Season 5 is next instead of Chapter 4 Season 1, that doesn't mean that Chapter 4 isn't close. For those who don't know, Chapter 1 had 10 seasons, then Chapter 2 had 8, so if they're minusing 2 seasons off the duration of each chapter with each one that follows suit, that could mean Chapter 3 Season 6, or even as early as Chapter 3 Season 5 could be the last season for, well, the chapter we're currently in. God, I mentioned chapter too many times there. And despite Fortnite being quite recently, I'm just saying I'm excited for its future, as not only have they been working on in the game's coding since the addition of riding animals in Chapter 3 Season 3, the motorcycle vehicles, but even more interestingly, flying animals that will be able to actually get on instead of these air vehicles to traverse around the island, or in the air should I say, airplanes and helicopters, which many people believe to be actually just Clombos returning, but with wings, considering so many files have been updated since they initially got vaulted and still continue to be added to this day. Either way, if you're excited for Season 5 or anything potentially upcoming in it, slap a like in this video down below, make sure you subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you don't miss any future uploads. Right now, make sure to click this video on screen I've specifically picked out for you, but hopefully I can catch you in the very next video I do post on the channel.